everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of the Four Jobbers podcast. I am, of course, Ginger Heat. Intro's coming in. Here we go. We have drops. Can you believe it? The Four Jobbers has drops, and we're just going to give a quick little thing today, a little ditty, where we're going to go into our predictions for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that is coming up this Sunday. And, of course, we are joined by the body from Kirkcaldy, Jordan Deves, all the way from Scotland, one of the original jobbers. How are you doing this week, my friend, after that big England-Scotland draw?
Oh, boy, yeah, a little bit of celebration of a 0-0. Doesn't happen very often, but trust me, that was like 4-0 for us. So yeah, very, very excited. It's also nice to be able to talk to you guys in the middle of the day rather than just as I'm supposed to be going to my bed or whatever, you know. So yeah.
A little bit different energy on this podcast, and of course, we are joined by the enigmatic, the charismatic, the bizarre, the mysterious, the wonderful Jason. How are you doing today, my friend?
I don't know!
I'm doing pretty good. It's, what is it, Saturday today?
It is Saturday.
Beautiful.
Saturday.
What day is it?
Sunny outside.
I don't know.
And of course, want you to hear now the crispness that is about to come
Christmas.
your way. Christmas is coming your way.
Christmas.
In your ears, in the form of a Jewish man named, well, you know, Jewish by birth, not by religion. He is the Wax Mamba, of course. Welcome to the podcast again, my friend. What is going on with you? Why do you sound so good? And what is going on in NXT that has everyone so excited?
Well, what's going on in my life that has everyone excited, at least in the context of this show, is I have a shiny new microphone. I literally unboxed it minutes before we went on the air, so I'm sure Jason, above everyone else, is happy.
How'd you get it so fast? It came like the same day?
There was the unnamed big conglomerate that I ordered from yesterday, and I am a Prime member. Ooh,
Next
gave it
day,
away.
wow.
Next day.
If you don't live in the boonies, Jason, you can get your deliveries next day.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to come so soon, especially over the weekend. But literally, I checked, it arrived, I unboxed it. Jordan got to watch me unbox it live, and apparently it's crispy. But what has everyone talking in the realm of NXT? Real quick, it was in the rumors. Everyone kind of saw it coming, but I still marked out when it did. Joe. Samoa Joe is back in kind of like a special enforcer. We were just saying, maybe almost like Stone Cold. He's the sheriff around town, and he made it very clear that things are going to change backstage. And I love that Mr. Regal is sticking around. I love that Joe is back. I love Joe as a talker, as a wrestler. I hope he can get in the ring a little bit. I think he will work his way into that at some point. But just having a managerial presence, a manager sort of integrated as a character, that's always been good. It's why Adam Pearce sucks, because he's just there. NXT is doing it right once again. And there was some other great stuff, but we'll come at you at our regular episode in a few days, and we'll talk all about it.
Absolutely. We also have to get into this interesting thing that AEW tried to do, a little bit of an MMA match. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. I watched the highlights, but I will watch the match in its entirety to give it the fair shake that it deserves. But, I mean, interesting choice, right? But we'll get into that later. Today, we are going into our predictions for the Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Hell.
Hell in hell.
Hell in Hell. Cell in the Hell. Hell in a Cell. Did it happen on Friday, or is it on Sunday? I'm confused.
Who knows,
Can't
right?
tell.
We don't know
I got
anymore.
highlights from a cell.
There's Cell highlights. Roman Reigns, the number one guy in the company. It should be the biggest match on the card against Rey Mysterio,
Especially
but they decide
after
to
what
put it
happened
on the Friday.
Last time he was in a Hell in a Cell, right? I mean,
Right.
it's one of the highlights of 2020. Oh. There we go. We're getting a little preview.
Dirty Weasel!
That was-
Get him!
That was
Got him.
Jason's favorite moment of the week.
Yes!
Oh,
Choked out the
Jason.
weasel.
choked out that gas station rat. /
Yes!
Weasel.
Gas station Shawn Michaels gets choked out.
Yeah.
Highlight of the year. Sorry, Adam Cole fans. I know they're going to be upset, but it is what it is. Let's go into the predictions. Jordan, what does this card look like? What do we have on this card? Let's see if we're excited for it, because I really don't know the card off by heart at all. I'm not super hyped for this, just to be honest, but
It's an interesting.
I'm always
one.
excited for our predictions.
I feel like it's a very short pay-per-view. There are only 6 matches. Now, we know what WWE are like. There is a chance that something will appear on the night or get announced on Twitter. That seems to be how things get made around here. People just, I'm going to have a match on Friday instead of an actual pay-per-view, and nobody seems to have a problem with that. They're just going, yeah, fine, we'll just set up in the middle on a Friday night instead. So yeah, who knows? We have 6 matches. First off, I will give, of course, a little cheers microphone 5 to Wax. There you go. Ka-ching. Little Elgato 5 there.
Shout out Elgato.
But let's jump in. Okay, first match. Obviously, we don't know the actual order of the card, but here is the first match that I have noted. It is Cesaro versus Seth Rollins in a straight-up singles match. What do we think, Jason?
I like the long-term booking of this feud. Obviously, I think Seth Rollins is working at the top of his... Like, that's a lot to say for Seth Rollins because he's had an amazing career already. And right now, I think he might have peaked. Like, when he first came back as a heel, it wasn't fully fleshed out. He had that new theme not everyone loved. Now I feel like it's the epitome of what he tried to do. Same with Bayley. They're almost at the same level. But what do I think of this match? I think it's going to be a great match. I think maybe it's too soon. Unfortunately, he just came back. He just opened up the mystery door and beat him up. And, like, I might want a little more leading up to it. But at the same time, maybe that's good that Cesaro can't talk himself out of making me want to see this match. You know, too much talking for Cesaro might be a bad thing. So all he did was push Seth over in his little director's chair, and I think that was enough. So...
Yeah.
No
Great
way, the
moment.
pants coming off,
Yeah.
throwing him down, knocking on the door,
like,
the whole setup.
This week, he just pushed him over. Like, I do respect you, and pushed him. It was great. So, the less Cesaro does verbally, the better it is. So, who do I think is gonna win? Cesaro. I'll give it to Cesaro. They got to give him something, right? So,
All right.
Interesting. What about Wax?
I'll say Cesaro too. I think the feud is built for him to go over, and for him to continue to gain legitimacy from feuding with Seth, who's been one of the best for the past several years. So just having him under your belt gives his name. I mean, everyone knows he's a great wrestler. He's a great worker, but
Under the
now
belt, under the
he beat
desk.
Seth. He beat Seth. And he goes on to do maybe bigger and better things. So Cesaro wins this one for me.
Interesting. Bradley boy.
I mean, for some reason, I feel like Seth is going to win this, but it will be a schmoz if he does. I don't know if this feud is concluded yet. I don't know if this is the end of this feud. And, is it really time for Roman Reigns versus Cesaro? Possibly. Is the next pay-per-view SummerSlam?
no.
Money in the
There'll
Bank.
be Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank next. Okay, so I think this is going to keep going. I'm going to say Seth Rollins in a schmoz.
But he wins.
Seth Rollins wins the match, but he does not win it
Clean.
in a clean, decisive victory.
Okay.
I'm going to go with you, Brad. I think exactly the same. I feel like we had the feud at Mania, and then it died away because it made way for Roman versus Cesaro. That was enjoyable, and it kind of teased at what's going to happen eventually, I think. But there's going to be another couple of matches here. I think there needs to be a stipulation match. You can't just have 2 singles matches.
Yeah.
One wins one
Makes
wins the
sense.
other. So I think there needs to be another match out of this, and I think Seth's going to take this one first.
And there's still a chance that Cesaro wins this match, and they still do that, and
Yeah,
Seth
of
Rollins
course.
just doesn't go away, right? But I think, it makes more sense what you're saying. That's the same thought process that I had. But it's very possible that Cesaro wins, and he wins clean, and Seth Rollins just doesn't go away and
Yeah,
continues
he
to
just-
pester him. That's
yeah.
also very possible.
Again, very similar to the Drew storyline of Bobby's beaten him 3 times, but still cutting around. But perhaps not for long. We'll come to that match in a wee bit. Next match on the card, we have I really wish I was excited about this. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in another straight up singles match. Wax. What do you think?
Yeah, I have to echo that. You know, normally on paper, I think every single one of us, you see KO versus Sammy, and we're thinking, yes, that's
Yeah.
going to... I mean, and it still will probably be just a good wrestling match, because they will put on a show, but it just seems like it's when they don't have something, they need something to fill the space, let's bring these two together in a feud. There's just nothing around it. I think KO is going to win. I think Sammy's still going off on that conspiracy thing. I think it's a clean win for KO. At this point, but just I wish I was more excited for this match than I am.
Yeah, I'm not excited for it at all. And maybe that's just because I kind of thought this was done with, but I guess if I watch SmackDown, I know it's not because they keep talking about it and whatnot.
But it seems like they were teasing a big feud because they dropped these little things,
But I've seen
and you
it.
figure,
I've
okay, this
seen
is
a
going to
big
build,
feud.
and they're like, no, let's just give them the match now.
I've seen the feud. I know what it looks like. It's incredible, but you can't just do nothing and then go, okay, match. What? What
You can tell that Sammy and KO aren't into this, are they? Like compared to how they usually are, and if they're feuding, the jabs that they give each other, it doesn't seem to be there.
No.
Because it seems like some last minute throw together push.
Yeah, there used to be between the two of them quite a personal take on everything, and this doesn't seem personal. It's just there's a
I'm going to
conspiracy.
stop Sammy
and
being a
you're an
conspiracy
idiot.
guy.
It's rubbish. That's why I think I am going to go with Sammy on this one, just because I don't. If he loses another match, he might as well just leave. Just go. Just do something else. Go back to NXT. If he loses another pay-per-view match against somebody else, he's gone. So I think Sammy needs a win.
I'm thinking I'm going to go right up. Sorry, Jason, but I'm going to say Kevin Owens. And the reason why I say that, and as much as it makes sense, Sammy needs a win. And, I'm a huge Sammy mark. That's my dude, But it just seems like Kevin Owens keeps saying he's going to end this conspiracy theory character, this conspiracy theory gimmick. He's going to end it. And so I hope that maybe this will be that. And I don't know, what is WWE going to do with this character of Sami Zayn, this conspiracy guy? We never saw the movie. We never saw the evidence come out. And now AEW and Kenny Omega are doing the same gimmick.
Yeah.
So are they going to step this gimmick up, or are they going to end it? Because Kenny Omega's doing the same thing, and he has 50 belts. So it's just so much more exciting. Like, now that he doesn't have the championship, and he's not fighting for a championship, who cares about your conspiracy?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not as exciting when they took that the Intercontinental Championship out of the picture for me. So I'm going to say Kevin Owens, and hopefully Sammy can find a new direction after this, but we'll see.
Send that feud straight back down to Raw Underground, where everything else gets buried.
Because that's below hell, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think
Jason,
that
yeah.
Hell in a Cell in general has been jobbed out more than anything, and it makes me sad. I mean, it's a match where legends have been made. Some have almost died. Kane debuted. Mick Foley was broken in half. Shawn Michaels swam in a pool of his own blood, and now it's just a annual forced occurrence, and I think nothing feels more forced than this match last minute. Therefore, I don't care about it whatsoever, and I'm only going to say Sammy's going to win because he needs a win. And how can he just keep getting beat down every single week? Everyone says he's a conspiracy theorist loser, and then he loses all his matches. Like, what are you supposed to? He's one of your best characters right now, and now like no one cares. And performers, and he goes into the
character and performer. Yeah.
They got to get finished with these same day, like in a couple of days, the pay-per-view's happening, and they're starting a match. It's like, Adam Pearce, I'm mad. Give me a match. You got that match in a couple days. It's like, have your shit together, at least for the week before, so we can build it and we know what's coming. Stop adding matches days before, because it's just garbage. You have a championship match in a Hell in a Cell before Hell in a Cell. I guess we could talk about that later, but that's so horrible. Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
2 apiece for Sammy and KO there then.
And as you guys know, I'm into Top Slam a little bit, and they had a good collection this week where they show some recap cards from Hell in a Cell, and it just reminds me of so many iconic moments, like Kevin Owens beating Seth Rollins to win the title, or to retain the title. Then you have SummerSlam, Edge versus Undertaker. You have Bad Blood, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. You have Batista versus Triple H. Even Sasha Banks versus Charlotte, as I go into a blurry zone here. I don't know what's going on with my camera. There's so many good matches. I mean, Kevin Owens had like back-to-back Hell in the Cells when he fought Shane McMahon, and he fought Seth Rollins and then Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and like Jason said, the debut of Kane, Mankind coming out and starting Hell in a Cell on top of the Cell. There's so many things there, right?
Yeah.
So
It's a shame, but I guess
where
it
we
is
are
what it is. Oh, look, he's getting right up and close and personal for us. Excellent.
got to get that focus back.
That's it. Let's move on to the next match. Guess what? Another straight up, ordinary, run of the mill singles match between Shayna Baszler and Alexa Bliss. Now, I know it says singles match. You can almost guarantee there is going to be a small
Special guest referee,
tooth
the doll.
involved in this, or there's going to be something here, some kind of pish. Maybe the octopus comes back. As much as I don't want to see that bastard back.
Mark out.
Maybe he comes back. I don't know. But Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler. For me, I'm going to go up
It's
and
gotta
say
be Kane.
it's got to be Bliss. I mean, it's got to be Kane. It's got to be Bliss.
Gotta be Bliss.
It doesn't really make sense for her to have what is this, like her first match back in a little while as well, especially on a pay-per-view. Yeah, Bliss for me.
First match since riding Randy.
Oh,
Riding Randy. So it's got to be
Riding
Bliss,
Randy.
and that's exactly why I'm picking Shayna Baszler to win this match, because as we've seen time and time again with all of this Sister Abigail hauntedness, they never win. They're the haunted loser freaks. All of them. Bray Wyatt, Alexa Bliss. They can't win anything. They're not going to
They
win.
should add Liv Morgan in the Riot Squad into this.
There you go. She'd fit in perfectly. She's already got the credentials. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe the doll comes in and costs Alexa the match or something. It's going to be some weird shit happening with it. And like I said, it makes too much sense for Alexa to win, and that's why I think Shayna's going to win this match. And I wouldn't mind that, because she needs to win too. And I want her to make it as a singles competitor now. Now that maybe it seems Nia and Shayna are finally going their separate ways, I would actually be happy with the Shayna Baszler win. And that's why I'm picking her.
good call. What about you other jobbers?
What do you think, Jay? I mean, I can go if you want.
I'm going to say Shayna Baszler. I hope she puts an end to this iteration of Alexa Bliss. I used to be a Alexa Bliss mark, and I haven't cared about her for quite some time now. You got an MMA legit threat going from fighting in an octagon to fighting in a padded room with a fucking doll. And I hope that she can, become a real threat. She's fine. I'm just happy I'm not seeing her with with her tag team partner, Nia Jax. I'm happy she's on her own, and Reginald.
Nia.
At least she's away from that. I hope she wins.
Reginald.
It's gonna be hard to do the supernatural stuff with Alexa Bliss once the idiots are back in the building, the fans, and
Crowd.
yeah. So I think she squashes the whole thing and destroys Alexa Bliss forever.
Fair.
Well, those stupid marks, those smelly marks will be back, and I am one of them. I am a stupid, smelly mark, and I am going to choose Alexa Bliss in this because I don't want to believe that they've built all of this character stuff into nothing just to lose to Shayna Baszler, unless it's building towards, like, she's still gaining her power, like, she's still trying to figure out what she's doing with Lily. But I feel like there's going to be some schmozzery here, whether it's Bray Wyatt, whether it's Nia and Reggie. I don't feel like, has Shayna completely split from Nia and Reggie? Like, they haven't had their falling out yet.
Not really.
There's still some
guess
connection
not yet.
there, right?
maybe
So
that'll happen.
I still feel like
on Sunday. I mean,
maybe it will. I'm gonna go with Alexa Bliss here, just based on the giant haunted storyline that is surrounding her is, in my opinion, going to continue.
Schmoz
Not
in
that
a
I want it
cell.
to, but it will, and it will carry forward with more pish.
There we go.
Shayna Baszler is very easy to make look good. You just have her come in and kick the shit out of someone, and she's back like that. Is probably what their thinking is. But I wish, and
Yeah.
I'm on the same page as you guys, and I wish they would build her as the number one fucking threat to everyone. That's what she should be. Everyone should be put on notice that she's here.
Yeah.
Will they do that on Sunday? No, but I wish they would.
Well,
That's just my thoughts.
no, I think we're all feeling the same, but we just have slightly different opinions on how
This is
the-
fun.
the
Yeah,
end
it's good to have
product is
different
gonna
picks
go.
for once. This is
We're all
interesting.
very
It's cool.
different.
Yeah,
Let's
we're
move
split
on
all of them,
to
yeah.
the next 3 matches that all have some kind of title on the line. We'll start off with the singles match for the Raw Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. Jace, what do you think about this? Because obviously you're the biggest
Is this
fan
a singles
of,
match?
It is just a singles match. No cell, no hell.
Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair's
singles.
feud, I feel, leading to Hell in a Cell has been spent more. Yeah, it's been spent less on building
Nikki
a
Cross.
story between them and more on making Nikki Cross look like Eugene, which I've said before. This match to me is similar to Bobby and Drew, just in the fact that I don't really care to see these two together anymore, and I feel like it hasn't been as oversaturated as Bobby and Drew, like long term, but they've done so much in a small amount of time that I don't want to see them together anymore. They haven't even fought yet. Have they had a match like 1-on-1 against each other? Okay, so the way that they
Last
could have built it really
WrestleMania.
well, I just don't like the way they did it. It seemed
How is this not built from WrestleMania to now to be in a cell?
But it could be perfect if you say, you know, they had the WrestleMania previously where Rhea was beaten by Charlotte. And
did
Charlotte
they even
became
bring that
NXT
up though? Like I
champion.
just don't feel
It's
like
for the NXT belt. How wild is that? No, but that's what I'm saying. And then Rhea's now won the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania this year, beating Asuka. In comes Charlotte and goes, "Oh, I should be in the main event picture straight away because, by the way, I've beaten the Raw Women's champ last WrestleMania." Like that is a much more enjoyable storyline because it's got truth and story flowing through it rather than just Charlotte coming back and going, "I deserve a shot because I'm Charlotte Flair," and then Rhea goes, "Oh yeah, well you can get back down under, you
Yeah.
freak." And nah, it sucks.
They
I
didn't even do that. Instead, there's Nikki Cross in it.
well, I feel like Nikki Cross is going to win this match somehow. I don't know how, but
Let's go.
she's not in the match. But Nikki
And
Cross is going to win it.
It'll
Just
still be. It'll still be done in a way that makes her look terrible.
Yeah.
Like she'll like fall over onto
But
both of them or something.
yeah, I feel like oversaturation is a WWE special. I'm so full of it that I feel a big steaming pile of shit about to drop out of me. And if I look at that shit real closely, it says Rhea Ripley wins. So Rhea Ripley wins.
nice.
Yeah.
Fair.
That
Hey,
was,
look beside it. There's
Rhea,
Adam Cole.
Rhea Ripley wins.
that was,
I don't know why. I don't really care, but she wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
It should be a dream match, but
It should be, and I'll agree with Jason. Just Rhea Ripley, I think, is going to win this, but I don't really have much of an explanation. I just feel like the champion will retain. I don't think they're ready to take the belt off her yet. Credit to WWE for not really putting them in matches against each other in the previous
Yeah.
weeks. At
Yeah.
least they didn't do that, although somehow they did something even worse. So,
We had them
I can't
in
give them that much
The
credit.
same match on
Yeah,
the
we
same
finally
night,
got something
side by side. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
2
so
minutes stupid idiot
it
match.
was still very dumb, but yeah, they didn't build. They could have built this feud up so much better. They didn't. So I'm just gonna pick Rhea Ripley and move on. I'm not excited for this match at all. I just
Rhea also.
Yeah, Rhea for me. Full house there. I don't think we need to talk about this match too much more. Let's
Next.
move on to our first Hell in a Cell match of the night, not of the week. Again, just to reiterate, we have already
can't believe
had
it.
a Hell in a Cell match this week on
Imagine having a Royal Rumble
For the
before
first
Royal
time
Rumble.
ever
We're gonna
on
have
national
a pre-Royal
television.
Rumble to see who gets number 30.
exactly. Yeah. It's like having a battle royal before the Royal
King of the
Rumble.
Ring tournament
So
first,
stupid.
and then we're gonna have like Survivor Series style match first, and then we'll have Survivor.
That's a good point. It also really pisses me off that I'm not watching the
That too.
Who Takes the Crown match on Hell in a Cell.
Oh,
Why is that on
yes.
SmackDown?
But they give
That
Sammy and
actually has
KO
been a
their 100th
really
match.
interesting and exciting. Who gives a toss?
Boogs.
Anyway, so the first Hell in a Cell match we have is for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bianca
We just
Belair
found out this was going to be a cell match
versus
yesterday.
Bayley.
So the hatred's really there. It's real built up. All
Yes,
the
literally
animosity is
yesterday.
going.
So, yep, absolutely.
How are they supposed to prepare for it with 1 day notice too? Like, I don't know. Hopefully they found it earlier, but it seems really tossed together last second.
Yeah, I wondered if part of this is obviously they moved the Roman match onto to SmackDown. I don't think that was an accident. I think that was because they realised, oh, hang on, we maybe need to fight or compete for ratings against AEW and their MMA fight and some of the stuff that they maybe had, and they thought we need a big draw on our card. But anyway, they've obviously then made this a Hell in a Cell. I'm going to go straight in there and say that I think it's Bianca that retains. It doesn't make sense to take the belt off her just yet. So I think Bianca's going to win this yin.
Yeah, I will say the same thing. I think, again, it'll be a championship retention. I think it'll be a good match. Bayley was in a Hell in a Cell match last year, and she was excellent.
Yeah, true.
At least this feud kind of has some build-up, even though it's a little bit of a ridiculous premise, but I'll take it. And I hope that kind of they continue to clash, because Bayley's awesome, and she's probably the best challenger that they have right now, unless they start building someone else up. But yeah, I can't see Bianca losing this title at this point in time.
There is someone that we are forgetting. Her name is Sasha Banks. I don't know where she is or what she's doing. Do you guys know?
classes? I don't know.
Hopefully.
I have no
Certainly
idea.
taking acting classes. She's, being on the silver screen or the TV screen a little bit more. But
It's a hell.
is there a chance that
like
she
she hides under the
interjects
ring?
herself into this match and either...
You can, but how does she
Well,
do
you're
it?
just-
Like wire
You're saying you can't get in
cutters
there? Like
or,
there's, there's WWE.
she just comes in,
Like
rips
Kane,
the
just
door
rip
off.
the
Now she's jacked.
thing apart.
That'd be great.
Let's go. Yeah, I don't know. There could be a million different ways that it could happen, but I'm just wondering if that could end up happening. But if not,
Bianca
then definitely
and
I say Bianca
Bayley.
wins this one.
Bianca is a sight to
That is the
behold.
match that we're talking about, yes, Jason.
Bianca's a sight to
For the
behold
title
in the
also,
ring,
and it's
but
in
on
a
the
cell.
mic, my ears have not been quite as pleased. I don't find her to be much of a compelling face champion, but to be fair, Bayley is operating at the highest level of her entire career. And as weird as it sounds, I think Bianca can benefit from losing and maybe a bit of adversity, because she's really had none. She's like Super Cena, and I'm talking... I think Bayley deserves it, and I hope Bianca trying to get her title back can elevate her character outside of the ring to the same level it is inside of the ring. And even Bayley, like she goes from the ding dong hello, and she's like ha ha ha, she's crazy, but then she destroys her set. And then this week on SmackDown, she just comes out in street clothes, doesn't even say a word, and just goes to beat her ass. Like, she's got
Yeah,
so
she
many
was a
levels.
beast.
And even Bianca's always like smiling. And even when she challenges her to a Hell in a Cell match, she's like, you know what? Let's have a Hell in a Cell match. Like, it's not compelling. And I want to see her get her ass kicked just so she can come back like a beast, show levels to her character, and flesh out a full personality.
Yeah.
So Bayley.
And it absolutely
Do you think Bayley?
could have.
Well, Bayley win clean?
Yeah, you can win any.
It's a Hell in a Cell match. Is there any other
I
way
think-
to do it?
Well, you know what I mean. Like,
I don't
in
think,
terms of not having someone else interfere, not having Like, to have a schmoz in that kind of match, you're allowed to use weapons, but I'm talking about outside interference affecting this match. Because if not,
I think she. I
if
think
she uses
Bailey
weapons,
wins
it's still gonna be considered a
without
clean victory.
interference, but obviously dirty heelish tactics which are allowed. And I think she wins using Bianca's hair somehow against her, because she did at the end there on SmackDown. A little foresight, maybe foreshadow.
I'll write it down for
Clever.
bonus points for you, Jason.
Well, then that leads us on to the last match and the last chance for Drew McIntyre. Thank goodness. Last chance Hell in a Cell match for the WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Drew McIntyre. Brad, what do you think?
I mean, I haven't really been following this feud too closely. I mean, I watched the highlights of it. I think that's what this has just been a bunch of highlights, which is disappointing a little bit considering
Medium
how,
lights, I would say.
yeah, how hot looking and feeling and everything was Bobby coming into this
Yeah.
after winning the belt. It was steaming. It was looking great. It was looking like a sexy storyline.
Bobby
with
Hose.
all his friends and MVP.
Excellent choice of word there.
All of them, they just happen to be good friends, and they all come out, and I love that, and the Hurt Business splitting up, we were all on this podcast so nervous about because we liked the Hurt Business,
Yeah.
and the direction they took it in was good. We were excited to see where this goes. Bobby and MVP, they don't need anybody else. They have the friends, but this has really not been very good,
No.
in my opinion. But I don't see this as the moment Drew wins it back, so I'm going to say Bobby.
Good call.
Unless they're trying to give him the belt right before they go back out, but I want him to win his belt back when there's people full in the building.
Yeah,
I think he deserves that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not that they probably don't care about that, but anyway, that's just my 2 cents.
Raw is
Booby.
the worst product in wrestling just now. I think we would all agree on this podcast.
I don't even watch Impact, but I'm sure Impact's better.
Yeah, I mean, something
Other than RK Bro, who isn't even on this. The
Yeah,
best
it's
thing
a
they
good
have going
point.
on Raw is RK
Actually,
Bro,
it's a good
and
point.
they're
There's
not
not
here.
one good thing. Yeah, at least Impact sometimes has Omega appear, right? But like, I want to be excited because obviously it's Drew McIntyre. As a fellow
Drew McIntyre
as a
versus
fellow
Bobby
Scot,
Lashley.
This match
In a Hell in a
should
Cell.
be insane, but I just don't care, and it's because I've seen it 4 or 5 times now. Oh yeah, we had Braun one time in that match. Well, look what happened to him. Out, out in the cold, down in Raw Underground with the rest of the jobbers. That's where we are. That's where we're taking this podcast from.
I think he's in Thailand right now. Looks pretty warm.
Oh.
I don't
I
know.
gotta get. Yeah.
Choo choo.
But
Where's
yeah.
our Braun drops?
we get some broad drops.
You're
Train
fired.
noises. Well, he's
Um,
gone now. But
But yeah, I want to be excited about it, but I just can't be. But I have to stick with it, and I'm going to say Drew. I'm going to say Drew wins it just before they go back out, and then he's the champion for SummerSlam and all that.
Powered by
There
Riverside.
we go.
Raw sucks, and then you die.
Yeah.
I'll say that this feud is very unexciting. I think I like Drew. I think he needs
a
to
wee
do
time
something
out.
else for a little bit. And that's kind of where the stipulation throws me off because it's Drew can't challenge Bobby anymore for the championship.
Yeah.
And so there's a part of me that says if that's the stipulation, then Drew is going to win because Bobby, I think, is going to be champ for a while, and I don't know if that's how long they want to keep Drew out of the championship picture, and you'd think they'd want Drew to win it back from Bobby.
But if Drew
But-
wins, he would fight Sheamus for the U.S. title? Because I mean, they could still go back to that with Sheamus's broken face.
I couldn't say for sure, but I think Drew just needs he needs maybe a blood feud. He needs just to get
Give us
out of
something
that
fun.
main title picture because it's getting stale. Just he being in that picture is getting stale, and it's nothing against him. It's just anyone who is around there for long enough wins, loses, but it's kind of a schmoz, or this happens, and they get a chance again and again and again. It's going to get old no matter who you are. So I would like Bobby to win this. I'm going to pick Bobby. Drew goes and does something else, and we find a new feud for Bobby Lashley leading into the summer.
It's a disappointment on both of them, to be honest. Bobby Lashley should be doing better.
Yeah.
Drew should be doing better in this feud. I know they're not giving them a ton, but it's been those
Who do you
onus on
think's gonna
both of them.
win?
Big fail.
Yeah.
So far,
I'm up last.
I already went. It's you're up last. Jason.
Well, I've
All
seen
you.
Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre together more than Mario and Luigi, more than Bert and Ernie, more than Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble. So being right about this isn't nearly as important to me as being assured that I'll never see these two share a ring together again for at least 2 years.
Not even
Or
in a Royal Rumble. Not
what
even.
if,
Mario?
What if Drew McIntyre comes back, right? But
Then
but
that's
he's got,
fine.
like, a Mr.
I appreciate-
America mask on, like Hulk Hogan did that time.
I
and then he
appreciate
starts fighting,
that
he's like, well,
level
I'm a
of
different
trolling,
person. I'm
so
not
I'd
Drew
be down for
McIntyre.
That would be funny.
But yeah. That being said, Bobby retains and rides his new hoe train out of the cell in celebration. We'll see. We'll see
Nice.
how it goes.
He rides them, or do they ride him? It's up to him.
Yeah.
Whatever he prefers, whatever they prefer.
Depends on what Alexa Bliss is doing. And that is our card. That is the 6
That's it.
matches for Hell in a Cell. I'm not overly pumped for it, but there could be some interesting
We'll be
moments. And yeah, as idiots that we are, full-time jobbers in our personal lives as well as our professional, we're going to sit and watch it regardless. So I'm looking forward to chatting it through with you, handsome gentlemen from across the pond.
Aye.
And there
Aye.
we go.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening.
take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
They may take our money, but they'll never take our freedom.
To turn off the channel and watch something else.
Off!
Well, if you guys liked what you heard, please like and subscribe. We are now new on YouTube, and we need your support. So go ahead and comment, like, subscribe. We need all of that stuff because it helps the algorithm and all that. You know what to do. Please do it. Hit the bell if you want some notifications. On behalf of Jordan, on behalf of Waxman, on behalf of Jason, thank you so much for listening. You can reach out to us at The Four Jobbers on all of social media. And hello at The Four Jobbers if you actually want to email us. But shout out to the Tops groups. We'll be running the contest later. Enjoy your free stuff. See you later.
I don't know!